Let me now introduce you to score transitions. Transitions create brief animations that play between frames to create a smooth flow as transitions move, appear, disappear, or exchange places with each other, or as the entire stage changes. Director provides dozens of transitions built into the application, and many third-party extra extensions also include transitions. I have 3 or 4 transitions set up in this file here. So let me rewind and play this back so you can see the transitions in action. So you can dissolve from one scene to the next, display a new scene strip by strip, or switch a scene as though revealing it through Venetian blinds. There's a variety of different types of transitions that are available. They're all here in the transitions channel. Like tempos, palettes, sounds, and behaviors, transitions have their own dedicated channel set aside for them here in the score. After they are defined, transitions appear in the cast window as regular cast members. So you'll notice here, if I bring up my cast window, I have a variety of transitions. Some of them I've added and then deleted, but they still remain here in the cast window. I can also drag and drop them from the cast window right onto the transitions channel. I don't necessarily have to double click on the cell there to open up the frame properties transition dialog to add my transitions. Let's say that I have a particular transition that's set up and I want to repeat it over and over and over again. It appears here in the cast window, and I just drag and drop it everywhere that I need it in the score. Let me give you some tips for using and setting up your transitions. Transitions always take place between the end of the current frame and the beginning of the frame where the transition is set. Notice, for example, in setting up these transitions, the transition is right there, set at the beginning of the second image. Canyon is the first one, dune is the second one. Likewise, between my dune and palm trees. In the transitions channel, you'll want to select the frame where you want the transition to begin, right here. Now in the frame properties transitions dialog box, you can select a category, if desired, right here, that you want to work with. I like the dissolves myself, although some of the others, like the pushes and the reveals, sometimes are useful. They can be kind of overdone, so I would recommend being conservative on these transitions. But the dissolves are pretty good. So you'll set your option there. Notice that there's a duration that's set by default, but you can change the duration of the dissolve. So for example, let's go in and modify. Well, let's delete these transitions here, and let's go and modify this dissolve. And rather than having it occur over 2 seconds, let's double that to about 5 seconds. And then rewind, and let's play this back. Let's bring up the stage here. Let's play this back. Now you'll notice that was a very slow dissolve, almost painstakingly slow, but you can modify the durations. I would recommend, again, using the dissolves and going with a rather quick dissolve. Let's do that over 0.75 seconds, and you'll see that this will look better. Right there, you can see that was much shorter. So many transitions will then have default settings for duration and smoothness as well. If we bring this back here, you have a smoothness setting. Let's go ahead and modify that same transition, and let's bring up its smoothness. Click OK, and let's have another look at this one. But the best way to learn these tools in Director is to experiment. Set yourself up a transition. I didn't really notice much difference that time in the smoothness. Let's try turning the smoothness all the way up here and set up my duration a little bit longer, 1.5 seconds, and now let's check this. I didn't really notice much difference between those two smoothness settings. For many transitions, you can also select whether the transition affects the entire stage or only the area that's changing. In these examples, I'm just affecting the change area, but notice that some of these allow you to set the change area only or the entire stage. Not all of them, but some of them do. I think this one here. There we go. There's one that allows you, the cover up allows you to affect the entire stage or just the changing area. Again, I recommend experimenting with these settings to see what works best for your particular circumstances. And one last comment before I move on to the next section of the tutorial on audio. Notice that Director will display the cast position here in the transitions channel. That's cast member 19. There's cast member 18. There's a 2 there because this is actually cast member number 20. But if I move that out of 20 up to, let's say, 38, notice that that changes to a 3. I can't see the 8 after that. So there you have a brief introduction to the use of transitions, tempo, and color in Director. Let me now move on to the next section and talk more about using audio assets in Director 11.